The story starts off in Suriname, South America. Clement Moloch, referred to as the Doctor, is about to torture a journalist, George Hidalgo, to death with electricity in front of the government official for training method purposes. This method was so bad even the officials were horrified, especially watching Hidalgo's testicles and anus getting hooked to wires and being electrocuted. Outside of the building, an Israeli Mossad team attempts to rig a bomb under the doctor's car. Unfortunately, the doctor switched cars and the operation failed, and one of the team members gets killed. In the Cayman Island, Holland, a retired assassin, lives in a relative peaceful place. An old friend came over and asked him to assassinate the doctor, though he initially refused to intervene. After learning his friend George was killed by him and watching videos testimonies of Moloch and other torture victims around the world, including children in Asia. This testimony was so horrific and bad, even Holland's friend had to sit outside and didn't want to listen. Holland decides to avenge his friend. He agrees to search for Moloch in one condition: to appear as a family man or a tourist. George's widow, Rihanna, takes the offer to accompany him. Rihanna and her daughter Sarah accompany Holland into Guatemala, where the doctor is based, or basically his hideout. The three met up with Max Ortiz, a friend. Ortiz gives information about the doctor and his goons before taking them to a cockfight ring where Moloch comes frequently. After a slight eye contact between the two parties, Holland and Rihanna decide to go back to their hotel after Rihanna was feeling sick just watching them. On their way out, they encounter a crippled guy who was trying to sell them drugs, but Holland diverts away. Later that night, the same crippled man arrives to their hotel looking for Holland, but Holland alerts him to his presence. Before he could scramble to get to him, he escapes. Later, Max takes Holland to Moloch's compound. He did a recon around the area, then leaves. Holland returns at night and sees the same crippled man walking normally. He scopes around the lights and cameras for later, then leaves. Holland and Rihanna tells one of Moloch's henchmen into a bar, maybe to get some observation or information. While he's off the bar to get a drink for Rihanna, someone in the bar grabs her like a little Barbie doll and sexually harasses her. Holland crushes groin and neck to the cheering crowd. This commotion catches the attention of Moloch's henchmen. Holland and Rihanna introduce themselves as a couple swiping or swingers looking for fun. The tough henchman, now a horny henchman, is tricked into returning to their hotel for a threesome. Holland kills him by throwing a knife into his throat. Rihanna is horrified and Holland demands she return home, as his mission is becoming dangerous. However, Rihanna was defiant and kept her hatred to see the doctor killed in person. Holland tries a chess game with the doctor by trying to bring him out his shell or hideout by kidnapping his sister Clara. He breaks into her hotel room and waits for her to show up. She shows up but with her female lover, and Holland had to wait for her to leave. He hid under the bed during their sexual intercourse. Squeaky squeaky. After she leaves, a male henchman comes in and begins rolling a joint. Holland manhandles him while Clara showers. He kidnaps Clara and kicks the man off the balcony with a fire hose tied around his throat, hanging him publicly to cause a distraction for him and Clara to escape. They go to the ranch owned by Max, and Holland advises Max to go into hiding because the mission is getting dangerous. Later on, Holland calls on Max to check on him if he made it to hiding. Unfortunately, poor Max, without the knowledge to Holland, Moloch had his militia snatch Max, whom he tortures to reveal Holland's hideout. Holland proceeds to call Moloch to negotiate, making Moloch's sister scream in fear over the phone as Holland records her. Moloch's final reply was, "I need more time, more hours," then hangs up. Holland knows Moloch knows his location. He sees a car heading his way in full speed. He knew Moloch's henchmen were on their way. He puts Clara in the trunk of the car and he and Rihanna speeds off. It turned into a car chase between the assassins sent by the US ambassador and Holland. After a brief shootout and a chase, the assassins crashed their car and burned and died, of course. But Clara dies in Holland's trunk. Holland and Rihanna buy a local farmer's truck and head to the village of Magdalena, and followed by US ambassador and other thugs. When Holland and Rihanna arrive at the village of Magdalena, they met a man and his son who owns a cab and a phone. They go to his place to use the phone and are met and confronted by the ambassador and a gunman. After a brief exchange of negotiation, Holland kills both men and calls Moloch, demanding he should come along for the exchange for the sister at a mine site. Later on, at the mine location, they find several disfigured men looking for any remaining opal. They advise the men to leave because danger approaches. They refuse, going into hiding only when they see Moloch's car approaching. The car stood still, windows winds down. Moloch reveals he has captured Rihanna's daughter, Sarah. Holland and Rihanna is now in a serious panic mood because they do not have Clara. Holland plays a tape recorder of her voice. Moloch runs into the opening and the miners recognize him, echoing the doctor's name in fear. They remember Moloch as the man who disfigured and tortured them in the past. Rihanna runs to an opening and screams in panic. Her child is in danger. All the miners came out from hiding. Now their fear turns into hate. Now hate to motivation for revenge. They walk towards the car slowly like zombies. Except these zombies had hammers with bona fide hatred in their faces. They approach his car and the chauffeur holding Sarah with a gun warns the miners to stay back. But a rock was thrown at the chauffeur by a kid miner. The chauffeur was slightly knocked off balance, causing him to release Sarah. Holland kills him. Sarah runs to Rihanna, and the miners slowly encroach on Moloch, hiding in his car, breaking in and killing him with hammers and picks. Holland, Rihanna, and Sarah return safely to Holland's home in the Caveman Islands. One thing we could learn from this story: revenge is not always the answer to everything. Sometimes revenge could take you to hate and make you lose more. Don't believe me? Ask Rihanna. She almost lost her daughter, all because she wants to see the doctor's head get blown off. And as for evil, ladies and gentlemen, there is no need to revenge. Don't take the law into your hands. There is something called karma. There's a writing on the wall. Karma will always come back to hunt them. They'll always come back with friends like payback, death, destruction, all lined up like a firing squad ready to take them down. No need for revenge. Thanks for watching, and I hope you subscribe to this channel. If you like stories like this, I'll be sure to share them. Thanks for watching. Have a nice night.